There are 5 ancient secrets that only 1% of men truly understand. Secrets so powerful that when you master them, people will start treating you like you're operating on a completely different level. And the crazy part? These aren't modern self-help tricks or pickup artist nonsense. These are 2,000-year-old principles that built the strongest men in human history. Marcus Aurelius knew these secrets. So did Seneca. So did Epictetus. These weren't just philosophers sitting in ivory towers. These were men who commanded armies, ruled empires, and faced death without flinching. They understood something about human nature that modern men have completely forgotten. And today, I'm going to reveal all 5 secrets to you. But I'm warning you right now. Once you learn these, you can't unlearn them. You'll start seeing the world differently. You'll notice how weak most men really are. You'll understand why some guys command instant respect while others get walked all over their entire lives. These aren't just mindset shifts. These are psychological weapons that will change how people see you, how they treat you, and how they respond to your presence. By the end of this video, you'll have access to the same mental tools that created the most respected men in history. But here's the thing. Most men will watch this and do nothing. Don't be most men. Look, here's the brutal reality that most men refuse to face. You've been lied to about what makes a man powerful. Society has fed you this garbage about being nice, being agreeable, being the guy who never rocks the boat. And where has that gotten you? Because you probably find yourself getting overlooked in meetings. People interrupt you mid-sentence. Your opinions get dismissed. Women see you as safe, but not exciting. Other men don't take you seriously. You're tired of being the background character in your own life. Meanwhile, there's always that one guy, you know the type. He walks into a room and somehow everyone just notices. He doesn't have to prove himself. He doesn't have to fight for attention. People naturally defer to him, and you're sitting there wondering, what does he have that I don't? The answer is simple. He understands these 5 Stoic secrets that I'm about to share with you. See, I've spent years studying ancient philosophy, not because I'm some academic, but because I was tired of being weak. I was tired of being the guy people felt comfortable disrespecting. I dove deep into Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus, not just reading their words, but understanding the psychology behind their power. And what I discovered changed everything. These ancient Stoics weren't just tough guys. They were psychological masters who understood human nature at a level that would make modern psychologists jealous. They knew exactly how to command respect without demanding it, how to be feared without being hated, how to lead without being loud. The first secret that only 1% of men understand is what I call controlled indifference. Most guys think caring less means being cold or rude. Dead wrong. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." Here's what this really means. When someone tries to provoke you, insult you, or get an emotional reaction, you don't give them the satisfaction. Not because you're weak, but because you're in complete control of your responses. While other men are losing their minds over petty drama, you remain unmoved. And that calm in the storm? That's what makes people respect you. The second secret is strategic vulnerability. This one will mess with your head because it goes against everything you've been taught about masculinity. Weak men try to appear perfect all the time. They never admit mistakes, never show uncertainty, never let anyone see them struggle. But the strongest men? They choose when to be vulnerable. They'll admit when they're wrong, but only when it serves a purpose. They'll show emotion, but it's calculated, not reactive. Seneca understood this perfectly. He wrote about his own struggles not to appear weak, but to demonstrate his humanity while maintaining his authority. When you master strategic vulnerability, people don't see you as weak. They see you as confident enough to be human. And that authenticity, combined with strength, is absolutely magnetic. Most men are either too hard or too soft. The 1% know how to be both when the situation demands it. The third secret is outcome independence. Most men are slaves to results. They need every conversation to go their way, every interaction to validate them, every situation to work out perfectly. And that desperation? People can smell it from a mile away. Epictetus, who was literally a slave before becoming one of history's greatest philosophers, understood this better than anyone. He taught that you can only control your actions, never the outcomes. When you truly internalize this, something magical happens. You stop being needy. You stop being attached to how people respond to you. You ask that girl out, but you're not devastated if she says no. You speak up in that meeting, but you're not crushed if your idea gets rejected. You set boundaries with toxic people, but you're not angry if they don't respect them. This outcome independence makes you incredibly attractive because most people are constantly seeking validation, and here you are, completely self-contained. The fourth secret is selective engagement. Weak men think they have to respond to everything, every text, every comment, every provocation. They think being available 24/7 makes them valuable. It doesn't. It makes them common. Marcus Aurelius was the most powerful man in the world, yet he chose his battles carefully. He didn't engage with every senator who challenged him, didn't respond to every critic, didn't waste energy on people who weren't worth his time. When you become selective with your attention, your energy, your responses, something incredible happens. People start competing for your engagement instead of taking it for granted. The fifth and most dangerous secret is philosophical detachment. This is the nuclear weapon of Stoic psychology, and it's what separates the 1% from everyone else. Most men are emotionally hijacked by their circumstances. Bad day at work, they're miserable. Someone disrespects them, they're furious. Things don't go their way, they're devastated. But Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself and your way of thinking." He understood that your internal state should never be dependent on external circumstances. When you master philosophical detachment, you become psychologically bulletproof. People can't manipulate you with guilt because you're not attached to their approval. They can't control you with anger because you're not reactive to their emotion. They can't break you with setbacks because your worth isn't tied to temporary outcomes. You become like a mountain, unmovable, unshakable, permanent. Now here's how you actually implement these 5 secrets starting today. First, practice controlled indifference by not reacting to the next 3 things that would normally trigger you. Just observe your impulse to react, then choose not to. Second, find one area where you can be strategically vulnerable this week. Admit a mistake you made, share a struggle you're facing, but do it from a position of strength, not weakness. Third, identify one outcome you're too attached to and practice letting it go. Fourth, choose 3 people or situations you're going to stop engaging with immediately. And fifth, spend 10 minutes each morning reminding yourself that your peace comes from within, not from external validation. Here's what's going to happen when you start implementing these 5 secrets. At first, people around you are going to be confused. They're used to being able to push your buttons, get reactions from you, control your emotions. When that stops working, they're going to push harder. Some people will call you cold. Others will say you've changed, that you're not the same person. Good. That means it's working. Because the person you were before was getting walked over, disrespected, and taken for granted. The person you're becoming commands respect without demanding it. But here's the warning. These secrets come with a price. Once you see how weak most men really are, once you understand how easily people can be manipulated by their emotions, once you realize how much power you actually have, you can't go back to being ignorant. You'll see the world differently, and sometimes that knowledge can feel isolating. Marcus Aurelius wrote about this loneliness in his personal journals, the burden of being the only person in the room who isn't controlled by their emotions, who isn't desperate for validation, who isn't reactive to every little thing. But that's the price of being in the 1%. Most men will never understand these secrets because they're too comfortable being weak. They'd rather complain about their problems than develop the strength to solve them. If you're ready to join the 1% of men who truly understand power, subscribe to this channel. We're building an army of modern Stoics who refuse to be victims of their circumstances. The choice is yours. Stay weak with the 99% or become strong with the 1%.